What is something that used to be considered safe? Okay, but now we know is harmful. Solid metal dashboards in vehicles without seat belts. A friend of mine in the army had a vintage car from the 1950s before seat belts were mandatory equipment. He was a reckless driver who liked to speed and weave in and out of traffic on the interstate. I only rode with him once. Letting little kids sit in the front seat of the car. I remember being early elementary age and having fights with my younger sisters on who got to sit in the front seat. I remember when no one used a seat belt in a car. So much stuff with babies. Not just the obvious car seats, but all sorts of sleeping stuff. Most of Reddit probably slept in a crib with a loose blanket, crib bumpers, and stuffed toys. You might even have been put on your stomach, or had a pillow. None of that is considered safe anymore. Babies are supposed to be on a flat surface, swaddled only under a certain very young age, with basically nothing anywhere near them. The CPSC just banned a bunch of things in common use. https://www.consumerreports.org/product-safety/CPSC-rule-baby-sleep-products-A119179052/closing parenthesis. In fact, including baby boxes, similar to the ones given out in Finland. Smoking. My grandmother's doctor prescribed smoking cigarettes. She was experiencing anxiety while she was pregnant with my mother. 1951. Melamine. Up until 2008, multiple Chinese baby powdered formula manufacturers secretly added melamine to their products. Melamine has high nitrogen content and mimicked the effect of high protein content in tests. Babies who consumed the products were diagnosed with kidney stones. As it turns out, melamine damages one's urinary system in many ways. I could not stop wetting my bed until I was 10 years old. The scandal caused a huge distrust in the Chinese food industry that persists today. It also caused the phenomenon where mainland Chinese tourists bulk purchase baby powder for friends and relatives when traveling abroad. Standing up in the front seat of your grandfather's 58 Thunderbird as a 6-year-old and saying, "Papa, I bet you can't go 100." And him saying, "Hang on, buddy." Then going for a snow cone. Cocaine. I've heard it used to be used in place of caffeine and in certain medicines. Apparently Sigmund Freud was addicted to medicinal cocaine. Motorsports were considered okay to be dangerous. Now they finally realized having drivers and spectators and marshals getting killed left and right was not a good idea, thank God. All of the snow in The Wizard of Oz was asbestos. They used to sell it for your own Christmas tree at home too. You just spray it out of a can. Radioactivity. In the first half of the 20th century, before it became well known how dangerous they are, there were many quack cures involving radioactive substances, like Radithor, drinking water containing radium isotopes. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/radithor (closing parenthesis). Toothpaste laced with radioactive substances to make teeth whiter and radium suppositories. https://www.orau.org/ptp/collection/quackers/radzup.htm (closing parenthesis) to cure impotence. Radithor was taken off the market after the death of Eben Byers. https://en.wikipedia.org/wiki/eben_Byers (closing parenthesis). A socialite and athlete who started taking large doses of it following an accident in 1927. He died of multiple cancers in 1932 and had to be buried in a lead-lined coffin. A lawyer from the FTC visited him in 1931, and wrote that his whole upper jaw, excepting 2 front teeth, and most of his lower jaw had been removed, and that all the remaining bone tissue of his body was disintegrating, and holes were actually forming in his skull. Single entry. Exit points on large buildings. IIRC. The creator of push-bar doors was a survivor of a child stampede that killed over 100 kids. Asbestos. Lysol as a douche. Look it up. This one is for the future, but I'm going to say plastic bottles. We use them for so many things and ingest so many liquids with bits of plastic broken down inside. In a few years, Decades from now I fully expect this will be the what the hell were they thinking using that item. Leaded gas. DDT. My mom said that the American military used to spray all the students, in post-war Japan, to get rid of lice. Lawn darts. Teflon, or the chemicals used in its production, C8. It's present in every American's blood. https://www.ecowatch.com/teflons-toxic-legacy-dupont-new-for-dash-decades-it-was-contaminating-weight-1882144.html. Bread for ducks, milk for hedgehogs, peanuts for squirrels. No one mentioned arsenic, used to be used as a depilatory and cosmetic ingredient. Heroin. It was originally sold as a cough medicine by Bayer. Declawing cats. Playing with mercury from broken thermometers. Work at a summer camp. Once found a document in the arts and craft building that said asbestos was a safe and fun material to use for carving. Wish we had kept that one. Pesticides plus monoculture farming. Aerosol spray. Hitchhiking. Smoking. Cocaine. Radium paint. Used for glow in the dark clock hands. Women were hired to paint the clock hands, but were never told it was hazardous. Many suffered radiation poisoning. Tackle football. Football has kids in pee-wee leagues banging their developing brains around as young as 8 years old. And some stick with football all the way through high school. Sunbathing for long periods of time. Smoking. Doctors even used to participate in advertising for smoking. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is gas masks from WW2 with the damn asbestos in it. Now I think about it, literally anything that included asbestos-like insulation was harmful. Smiley face. Benzene being used to make desphenated coffee and toluene on nail polish. Cigarettes. Doctors used to suggest pregnant women smoke while carrying the child and whatnot. U.S. soldiers would spray each other down with Agent Orange for fun, when it was hot out. They were told it was completely safe. Fussy baby? Try new lead and cocaine toothache drops. Now with more plutonium. Or, check out Fosse's latest dress fashion with our, non-toxic, green dye. It's arsenific. Smoking cigarettes. They used to be marketed towards women as an appetite suppressant to help them stay thin, and it was unseemly for a woman to use a pipe. That was the man thing to do. Whiskey on the gums. Using gladiator pee as toothpaste and gladiator sweat in makeup in ancient Rome. Raisins for dogs. My vet was telling us that they used to be commonly used as a training treat years ago. Meth. In World War II Germany it was widely used among the general population and in the military. It was actually provided in military provisions. Some historians say the only reason their Blitzkrieg campaign was so successful was because the soldiers were so hopped up on meth. There are stories of Allied commanders freaking out because the German ground forces arrived faster than humanly possible, completely overwhelming the unprepared French forces. Aside from the military, it was apparently very common for the general population to pop a Pervitin, their brand name for methamphetamine, if they were feeling a little tired, or needed to clean for a house party, etc. There's a really good book, a little dry, but the information is really interesting, called Blitzed, by Norman Ohler that goes into it. Bill Cosby. A huge amount of medicine and food additives. Everything from adding cocaine and meth to drinks, food, over-the-counter drugs. Your other choice would be treatment for mental, emotional health. Men were actually lucky when they were ignored for their problems. The ones who were acknowledged, mainly women, would face everything from lobotomies, to torturous treatment, to even dangerous drug cocktails of random variety. Microbeads. Ether. It used to be used as an anesthetic but was made illegal once they figured out people started using it as an incredibly strong relaxant and when people went to sleep and never woke up. Up until the early 90s it was widely believed by doctors in Western medicine that babies under a year old could not feel pain. Therefore they would perform multiple procedures and surgeries on babies without using any form of anesthesia or pain relief. Keeping adding lead to gasoline. It was literally getting in the air, causing people to behave more violently. Since its removal from gas paint, crime rates have dropped incredibly. Look it up on a graph. It's crazy that people were literally getting chem-trailed back in the day. Smoking used to be considered healthy and was encouraged by doctors. Cocaine used to be in Coca-Cola. Mercurochrome used to be a common disinfectant all the way until the late 90s. It was banned in the US and several other countries due to its high mercury content. Skinned knee? Slather on some bright red mercury liquid. Heal you right up. Cribs with sides that slide down. Very popular 35 to 40 years ago, but the side would fall into the crib on the baby instead of sliding down. Radiation makeup. Lead in makeup. DDT. White clouds of fun for kids to jump around in. Yay. Asbestos. Sugar. I mean, it's not heroin, but it's still not healthy. Lobotomies. Cigarettes. Most people here won't remember this, but there was a long time cigarettes were regarded as harmless. They even had commercials where they were endorsed by well-known cartoon characters. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=nexusos2c and even doctors. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=gseemsgxg. BPA, processed foods. Radium. It was initially used as a cancer treatment, but quack doctors started selling it for everything to wealthy clients for infertility or to help men increase their libidos and erectile dysfunction, along with general everyday uses. Look up the radium girls. Please use discretion because it might be upsetting for some people as it shows radium jaw in the women who used it in paint brushes, and it is horrific. Smoking. All throughout the 40-60s it was promoted by doctors that smoking was good for you, but now we know it really isn't. Asbestos. Used to be this miracle material, but now we know when it decomposes, it causes horrible lung problems. My personal favorite is how they used to market smoking as a way to prevent dementia. Which, if you squint, it did. Most smokers died of cancer or cardiovascular disease before dementia had time to develop. Arsenic. It's insane to us now, but in the 1800s, someone figured out how to make a green dye out of arsenic. There had been no truly good green dyes before then, and suddenly green was all the rage. People painted with it, used green wallpaper in their houses, and women wore green dresses, all dyed with arsenic. People started getting sick, and it took a while for them to figure out that they were only sick when inside their arsenic-papered house. Cigarettes. The only truth was that it curbs the appetite, helping weight loss. But it obviously comes at a cost. Johnson's baby powder. My mom is Filipina and she basically slathered me in it when I was a kid. Apparently it has traces of asbestos and had been recalled. Etymology. Mercury was used in the manufacturing of felt hats during the 19th century, causing a high rate of mercury poisoning among those working in the hat industry. Mercury poisoning causes neurological damage, including slurred speech, memory loss, and tremors, which led to the phrase, mad as a hatter. Putting uranium into children's chemistry sets. Yes, this was a real thing. Performing surgery on babies without anesthesia. Eating cotton. Used to be a dietary thing, it's now known to be deadly. Use of physical discipline. Spanking, on your children. Cigarettes, radiation, cocaine. Xanax. Absolutely the most insidious substance on earth. I would rather withdraw from heroin, and lose my left testicle than go through a Xanax withdrawal again. Cigarettes are full of feel-good compound and grade of vitamins. 50 years later. Just kidding? Smoking and drinking alcohol in pregnancy. Used to be recommended to regularly drink a pint of Guinness to improve iron levels. When I was a kid, no kids wore floating vests in small boats on the sea. Today everybody wears them. Also, when my father was a kid, fathers would have their sons rappel down steep cliffs with nothing but a rope around their waists held by the fathers to collect seagull eggs on islands. Needless to say, they don't do that anymore. Hanging out with Osama bin Laden. Radiation. There used to be devices to measure children's feet. Basically, the children would put their shoes on, stick their feet into this machine, and it would blast their feet with radiation so that nervous parents could see the children's feet inside the shoes to be sure they fit. Congrats, the shoes fit. But now your child has a ton of other health concerns. Thanks for watching. See you later.